branding. This is not about logos and slogans. But what is each of your towns known for? We love the fact that we saw Walton was the motocross capital. You know, right there. And I went, yeah, I don't know where the motocross tracks are or why it's the motocross capital, but at least they stand for something. One nice thing about that, if we had a kid that was into motocross, or if I was into motocross and it was my passion, guess where I'd want to live? Because we don't live in places that have something for everyone. You know, we did this in Alberta when Devon became Alberta's bike town. And all of a sudden, all these kids with bikes and BMX and everything started moving to Devon, which is like 20 minutes outside of Edmonton. And they started moving to Devon because they're all about biking, and their kids wanted to be about that. So for each of you, what makes you worth a special trip? What is your town known for? And so that's really great. And Blythe, it's surprise, surprise, the small town that knows how to think big. I got to tell you that when we arrived, we figured, where should we start? So we just said, we'll pick a straw that. We said Blythe. So our second day here, we went over to Blythe. I sent Heather an email. I said, Heather, I think we really underpriced this project because we spent our entire profit margin the first day in the old mill. I mean, there were people there from Toronto. And we saw that. I just went, wow. I mean, this is an amazing place. And it's in Blythe? What's the population of Blythe? Like 1,000 people? I mean, it's like, wow. So this is the little town that really thinks big. I mean, this is quite the experience. Matter of fact, we've been there twice. The second time cost more than the first time. And then we went right next door to one of the nicest breweries we've ever seen anywhere, and we travel 250 days a year. I mean, nothing beats this. And I love the fact that, I mean, first of all, the food is so good, we went there twice just to eat. I mean, and there it says, what does it say? Canada's destination brewery. This is not just Ontario's destination brewery. This is Canada's. I mean, this is the little town of Blythe. And so Blythe just blew us away. And when you get past those big things, you've got some great retail shops like Maple and Moose there. Just really, really terrific. Wild Goose Studio. I mean, for this little town, we were just totally impressed. I mean, I even thought, well, maybe they should brand themselves as an arts village or performing visual fashion and brews. I don't know. You know, I mean, but that put Blythe on the map instantly. I was shocked. I was like, wow, where'd this come from? This is where we started. So guess what? Everybody else now has to live up to this. And so a brand is a promise. So to be successful, you must deliver on the promise. So we went to Brussels. And what is the slogan? Ontario's prettiest town. Now, I think the mural there was absolutely fantastic, but I don't know what this town is known for. It's got beautiful architecture, but what we saw were about 90% vacant buildings, no shred of beautification. Now, it might be really pretty outside of downtown, but remember, we see the sign we're driving, this is what we see. And so we're judging the book by the cover. I mean, I think it's great what they did here. And we're seeing the buildings are a little bit on the rough side. Now, when we went out and started exploring a little bit, we could see some really cool stuff. So I could see where it'd get pretty. But I got to tell you what happened is in all of our travels, and even for people looking for a place to live, they'll still use the same resources. We used Google, TripAdvisor, and Ontario's West Coast, those three websites. We'd type in things to do in Google in Blythe or Brussels, and we'd get the Google list and the reviews. And we went to TripAdvisor, and then we go to Ontario's West Coast. So we went to Ontario's West Coast, and we read this. So we'd done Brussels, we came back, and then we read And in this text says, unparalleled accommodations like the DeWitt Luxury Suites. Once the difficult decision of where to stay has been established, there is no question as where to head next. Jar Jam Pub and Eatery or to JR's Family Restaurant. Then do the historical walking tour. Visit Cranbrook Acres Alpacas, and it went on with this flowery language. So we're sitting there going, did we miss something in Brussels? I mean, this is the website a couple days ago. So we said, we better drive back out there because somehow we missed all this huge grandeur things that we'll find in Brussels. And so there it is. The DeWitt, it's all for lease. I mean, there's storage boxes up there. I mean, these are really luxury suites. It's empty. And by the way, here is Jar Jam, Pub and Eatery. You got to deliver on the promise.